fifth grade math friends. This is my first attempt at a YouTube video for you. So we're going to work through our problems together. And as you can see, I've got your book pages pulled up on my laptop, and we're just going to kind of work through them together. And I know there's a glare and all sorts of things. We're just going to kind of have to work through this as we go along. So if you did not turn in pages 537 and 539, pardon me, if you didn't turn in pages 537 through 539, we did those the Friday before spring break. If you didn't turn those in, now would be the time to get those to me. You can take a picture and send them to me through the Remind app. That's the best way to do it and the way that I prefer. If you can't do that, you can take a picture and email them to me. So we're going to start today with book 2. So hopefully everybody brought book 2 home with them. So book 2, it's page 551 is where we're going to start. So I'm going to open book 2 to page 551, and we're going to start taking a look at fractions and division. So once you're at page 551, and the good news is with this video, you can pause it and I'll stop talking so that you can get your book ready. So we're going to start here. It says, a fraction is a number that names equal parts of a whole or parts of a set. A fraction represents division of the numerator by the denominator. So your numerator is your top number. Your denominator is your bottom number. So your first example says, Dylan, Drake, and Jade are sharing 2 small pizzas equally after their lacrosse game. How much does each person get? So I've got my laptop here. I've got my book over here so I can read it because this is backwards to me. So just ignore the fact that I'm reading over here. Okay, so we have how many things are we sharing? So you're going to start with how many things are we sharing, and then how many people are sharing those things. So we're sharing 2 things. We're sharing 2 wholes because we're sharing 2 pizzas. So it's 2 divided by how many people are sharing those pizzas. So it's 2 divided by 3. So a fraction would show that as 2 over 3. So a numerator of 2 and a denominator of 3. So written as division like you're used to, 2 divided by 3 is the same as the fraction 2. Well, of course, that's not going to work for me. 2 over 3. Okay, well, it's no different than my smartboard in class, I suppose. It's not going to do it. So 2 over 3. So you would put 2 over 3 right here. Okay, and you can also see that because if you took this one pizza and you divided it amongst Drake, Dylan, and Jade, and you took this second pizza and you divided it among Drake, Dylan, and Jade, they would each get 1/3 of this pizza and 1/3 of this pizza, which would be 2/3 of the 2 pizzas. So what amount does each person get? Your answer would be 2/3. So you can see here how they've filled in for you what I couldn't do with my pen. I'll figure out why. 2/3. And that number is between 0 and 1. So 2/3 is more than nothing, more than 0, but it's not a whole pizza. It's not a whole 1 because that would be 3 out of 3, not 2 out of 3. Okay, so let's take a look at example 2. Ray and Bailey are sharing 3 brownies equally. How much does each person get? So again, start with how many things are they sharing, and then how many people are sharing those things. So they're sharing 3 brownies, and it's 2 people who are sharing them. So as division, we would write it 2 divided by 3. Each person gets, 3 divided by 2. Each person gets 3 divided by 2 of a brownie. The models at the right show how much each person would get. So Ray would get a whole one, and Bailey would get a whole one, and then Ray would get another half, and Bailey would get another half. So they would each end up with 1 whole and 1 half. And if you divide 3 by 2, 3 divided by 2, you get 1 1/2. So that works out. So here, each person gets 1 1/2 brownies, because if you do 3 divided by 2, you get 1 1/2. So let's just do that math real quick. 3 divided by 2 is 1 1/2. So do you see how I got that? 3 divided by 2 is 1 1/2. Okay. So you would have 1 1/2 there, and that's between the two whole numbers 1 and 2. It's more than 1, but it's not 2 wholes, 1 1/2. So this is how you would fill out that page. Okay, so your guided practice says 2 bags of bird seed are used to fill 3 bird feeders. So let's start with what we know. How many things are we sharing? 2 bags of bird seed. And we're sharing it among 3 bird feeders. So each feeder uses 2 divided by 3 of a bag of bird seed. So this would be 2 over 3. So here we have 2 over 3. 2 divided by 3, the division problem, is written as 2 over 3, the fraction. And here you can see, so you can draw these in. See how it has these here for you to draw them in. So you would draw them in like this, where each bag, this first bag would be divided by bird feeder 1, bird feeder 2, bird feeder 3. Bird feeder 1, bird feeder 2, bird feeder 3. And you would see that bird feeder 1 would get 1/3 of the first bag, 1/3 of the second bag. So it's going to get 2/3 of the total amount. And then bird feeder 2 would get 1/3 and 1/3, which is 2/3 again. And bird feeder 3 would get the same. Okay, so we're going to come down here to independent practice, and we're going to do this together. So it says 4 families share 5 pies. How much pie will each person get? So again, what are we sharing? Well, we're sharing 5 pies divided by 4 families. So 5 over 4, or what would that be if you did the math? 5 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4 would be 1 1/4. See how I did that? So 1 1/4 pies. So 5 divided by 4 is equal to 5 over 4, or 1 1/4. This answer is between 1 and 2 because it's more than 1 pie, but it's not 2 whole pies. Okay. You can see your answer page there. Okay. All right, 6 bags of soil are used to fill 5 flower pots. How much soil does each pot use? Between what 2 whole numbers does this answer lie? So you've got 6 bags of soil and 5 pots. So what are we sharing? 6 bags of soil. What are we sharing it with? 5 pots. So 6 divided by 5, 6/5, or 1 1/5. So 6 divided by 5, the division problem looks like this. As a fraction, it's 6 over 5. And that's between 1 and 2. So, and there's your answers. Okay, number 4. 40 yards of fabric are used to make 9 school banners. How many yards of fabric does each banner use, and between what 2 whole numbers does this lie? So what are we sharing? 40 yards of fabric. And what are we sharing it with? 9 school banners. 40 over 9. This is how you would write it as the division problem, 40 divided by 9. So that would look like 40 over 9, because this line in a fraction actually means the same as the division symbol. So each banner uses 40 over 9, or you can do your division. Four and 4/9. Okay, so 4 and 4/9. So that would be between 4 and 5. It's more than 4, but it's not 5. And there's your answer pages. Okay, we're not going to do the hot problems for this. So that's all the independent practice that I'm going to require. Your homework is down here. So my homework, you are going to do pages. You're going to do 555 and 556. So 555 and 556 for homework, and then you're going to take a picture of those and send them to me through the Remind app, or if you can't do that, scan and email it to me. If you get confused, send me a message. Either email me or send me a message through the Remind app, and I'll be happy to help you either through the app or on FaceTime or whatever we can do. So I hope you guys are staying busy. Oh, Mr. Lazalier's busy.
And why is it important, boys and girls, to learn about fractions so you can make a batch of yummy brownies? This required 2/3 cup of oil and 1/4 cup of water plus 2 whole eggs. Thank you. Tell your parents you learned something wonderful from Mrs. Lazalier.
Oh my gosh. There are fractions on the back of this, so he's right. That's exciting. All right, so I hope everybody's having fun. I absolutely hate this, and I want to go to school so very badly. But it helps to know that I get to talk to you guys, even if it's just kind of through the internet right now. And I hope everything's back to normal soon and we can see each other soon. Miss you guys. Bye.